Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley remains committed to staying in the race until at least Super Tuesday. And with March almost here, we're getting closer to spring allergy season. We'll hear from a pediatrician about what you need to do to be ready.
Plus, a spring weather pattern will continue for now. Your forecast on the way as Mountain News at 5:30 starts now.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Nikki Haley says it is too soon to call the race for the Republican presidential nomination over, but time may be running out for her to make it a competitive race. Meanwhile, President Biden and former President Trump are looking ahead to a rematch in November's election. CBS's Nicole Skanga has more from Washington.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley says she's not giving up on her pursuit of the Republican presidential nomination.
You look at all the early states, and Donald Trump, as technically the Republican incumbent, did not win 40% of the vote.
Haley is campaigning in Michigan Monday ahead of Tuesday's primary. She's also scheduled a 10-day nationwide tour holding more than 20 campaign rallies and fundraisers.
If Donald Trump is the candidate, Republicans will once again lose the election. We'll lose the swing states, we'll lose the House, we'll lose the Senate, and we won't take anything with us.
Political experts say it's hard to envision a path forward for Haley to win the GOP nomination. Former President Donald Trump has already won a majority of the delegates up for grabs so far, and he's leading in states that will soon be voting. He says he's already looking toward November for a rematch with President Biden.
I just wish we could do it quicker. 9 months is a long time.
Both Biden and Trump are looking to tackle one of the campaign's most pressing issues this week. President Biden is heading to the southern border town of Brownsville, Texas on Thursday, the same day Trump will be in Eagle Pass, Texas.
You see millions and millions of people coming across the border illegally. We don't know where they come from.
A Monmouth University poll out Monday shows a majority of Americans surveyed say illegal immigration is a very serious problem. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Washington, D.C.
41% of Democrats surveyed by Monmouth agree that illegal immigration is a very serious problem. That's up from 26% in 2019. Former President Trump, his adult sons, and two former Trump Organization officials are appealing the $454 million civil fraud judgment against them. Last week, Judge Arthur Engoron issued the official judgment in the New York Attorney General's case. The former president is personally on the hook for $454 million, including interest payments. Earlier this month, they were found liable for fraud, conspiracy, and issuing false financial statements. Alexander Smirnoff will remain behind bars as he waits for his day in court. Today, the ex-FBI informant pleaded not guilty to charges of lying to his FBI handler and falsifying documents. A Las Vegas judge previously ordered Smirnoff could be set free with a tracking device until his trial. But a few days later, a federal judge authorized him to be rearrested due to concerns Smirnoff might try to leave the country. A solemn vigil was held at the University of Georgia in honor of murdered Athens University nursing student Laken Riley. Police found the 22-year-old's body in a wooden area behind a lake on UGA's Athens campus hours after she went out for a morning run Thursday. As classes resumed today, hundreds of students paused to remember both Riley and another student who took his own life last week in an on-campus dormitory.
We know time is what we all want with the people we love. And although we all long for more time with both Wyatt and Laken, we find peace in the light they brought into our lives.
Be kind. Catch up with your friends. And strive to be the type of person that Laken was, where sister shared. Even if you hadn't seen her in a while, it was like no time had passed at all.
The visitation and funeral for Laken Riley is set to take place on Friday. Officials in Louisiana are searching for an inmate who reportedly pepper sprayed a deputy after escaping from a hospital. 51-year-old Leon Ruffin had been in custody since July for second-degree murder and is considered dangerous. Ruffin had been wearing a boot on his leg for an alleged injury. During the escape, he took it off and charged the deputy. Investigators say Ruffin pepper sprayed the deputy. The deputy fired her gun, but it is unclear if Ruffin is injured. A trial date has been set in the manslaughter case against Alec Baldwin for his role in the deadly 2021 Rust film set shooting. Jury selection will start on July 9th in New Mexico. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins was hit by a live round fired from a prop gun Baldwin was holding. Baldwin is charged with involuntary manslaughter, and this comes as the manslaughter trial against Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed continues into its third day.
Well, it feels more like late March or early April across the region on this Monday evening. Here's a live look from Buffalo Mountain in Perry County under plenty of blue sky as the sun begins to set on this Monday evening. That current temperature up to 68 degrees, and most of us right now in the upper 60s and lower 70s, up to 70 for Jackson, 73 for Manchester, and 72 for London. Also in Harlan County at this hour, we should be close to 52, so most of us are well above average on this Monday, and we stay mild as we go into your Tuesday. Also on Wednesday, up on first alert pinpoint Doppler, possibly a few spotty sprinkles in far southeast Pike County, pushing into Buchanan County in southwest Virginia at this hour, but most of us are dry, and we stay mainly dry as we go into this evening as well. Those temperatures also mild in the middle to upper 50s as we go through late tonight. A small chance of a passing shower, especially after midnight, but higher rain chances on the way as we go into your Tuesday. Also on Wednesday, also tracking some gusty winds, a wind advisory for central Kentucky, also for parts of northern Tennessee. No advisory for the most of us, but that means we are still watching out for some gusty winds, possibly up to 30 or 40 miles per hour by Tuesday and Wednesday. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, thank you very much, Cameron. Florida health officials say 2 more cases of measles have been identified in kids in Broward County, raising the total to 8. One case is a child between the ages of 5 and 9. The other is a child who's 4 or younger. It's not clear if they are connected to an outbreak at Manatee Bay Elementary School in Weston. Florida officials are deferring to parents on whether they choose to send unvaccinated kids to school. Spring is officially less than 1 month away, which means seasonal allergy season is upon us. WYMT's Olivia Calfee takes a deeper look into what you can do to enjoy the upcoming warmer weather while not letting your allergies get in the way.
March 19th marks the first official day of spring. But as temperatures increase and plants bloom, Dr. Molly O'Rourke says many folks' seasonal allergies blossom as well.
Allergies tend to be itchy, runny eyes, cough, sneeze, runny nose, and sometimes a scratchy throat as well.
And while several respiratory illnesses are spreading across the region, it's important to know the difference.
Illnesses typically have a fever, they're more intense, like a sore throat, not just a scratchy throat. You can have discharge from the eyes with an illness, with a bacterial infection of the eyes.
O'Rourke says illnesses typically run their course, while allergies are more likely to stick around all season. That's why taking the proper medication is important.
Luckily, we have a lot of over-the-counter allergy medications, so if patients are trying to avoid coming in and being exposed, they're more than welcome to try something over the counter. Sometimes it's harder with children because of dosing, so coming in on your checkups and asking about those can be very helpful.
O'Rourke adds if you or your child is taking an over-the-counter medicine but it's not working, it is good to switch things up.
Sometimes it's just the medication. Certain people, Claritin doesn't work for them, or Zyrtec or whatever, or you need to switch back and forth because some people actually can get a tolerance to one medicine and you have to switch, but the good thing is you can switch back to it later on.
Saying it is also important to note that various allergies differ from person to person. In Perry County, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
O'Rourke says it's common for seasonal allergies to spike on windy days like we're going to have coming up, as it's likely pollens will be moving around. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, 40% of student loan borrowers in a recent survey said they have not made their first payment despite bills resuming. We have ways borrowers can tackle their debt.
And a strong cold front is on the way for midweek. Those details after this break.